The month of March, we saw price gains in Sydney and nationally that were, for monthly gains, were a 32-year high. That's going all the way back to the late 80s. We have upgraded our forecast for price growth in 2021. We think prices will be up 15% for the full year. The Sydney market alone looks like it's going to be up about 9 and a bit% for the first 4 months of the year. Our forecast for full calendar 2021 was a 10% gain and a further 10% gain next year. We think nationally it'll be more like 15% this year. We could be well into that by mid-year. That said, we still think it's a 20% cumulative rise over the next couple of years. So we see more of a slowdown in 2022 with prices nationally rising only about 5%. It still looks like a soft landing to us, a 5% growth year next year for prices. So it's still a boom, but we're not going to see another 4 months like the 4 we've just seen and another 4 after that. Sydney and Melbourne were at the centre of the last big run-up of prices over the previous decade. So we're going to run into those affordability issues much more quickly. We think by the second half of this year, we'll be back near the really stretched levels of buyer affordability that we got to in 2017, and when we saw owner-occupier demand in those markets start to peel off. We compare that to the likes of Brisbane and Perth and Adelaide. Never had that previous price cycle. Brisbane in particular has a lot of headroom for continued owner-occupier driven gains going forward. They're a long way from the sort of affordability constraints that the Sydney and Melbourne markets hit previously. Aside from that, you've got these shifts between metro and regional areas. Have the regional areas overdone it in expectation that there'll be a lasting move to the regions off the back of COVID. We may see a rotation in price growth back to the city centres. So far that hasn't quite happened, so there's a bit of an open question I think now about if we're going back, if we're shifting away from working from home, what's the hybrid arrangement going to look like?